Well, here's the storyline, and here's the question that we're going to pose. Not so much that the Padres finally beat the Dodgers in a game, or the Dodgers have pitching problems, or the Angels have unraveled. I got a question here. Who would you bid on? Because the three most viable free agents in baseball at the end of the season all have ties to Southern California. And let's start with Blake Snell. He is now 13-3. Amazing statistic in his last 21 starts. 1.31 ERA in those last 21 starts. You never see that. His career record, 71-55. Career ERA, 3.26. Guy's making $16 million this season, represented by you-know-who, Scott Boras. Price tag is probably going to be $30 million per season. He's on a path to maybe win his second Cy Young Award of his career. Who could have seen this coming? Because we had seen no consistency from Blake Snell in San Diego since he got here from Tampa. So Blake Snell suddenly becomes the marquee free agent on the open market. And now we're going to touch the toxic names. Trevor Bauer, Yokohama baystars, he's going to try to come back here in the offseason and get a major league free agent contract. Why? He's 10-4 with a 2.76 ERA, 130 strikeouts in 130 innings in Japan. He's the best pitcher in the Nippon League. And then the third name is Julio Urias of the Dodgers, removed from the Dodgers. His career record is 60-25. He's got a 3.11 ERA. Is he worth $30 million on the open market? He too is represented by Scott Boras, but he is looking at a 60-game suspension. So here we are with just a couple of weeks to go in the baseball season, and you got one hot guy who's resurrected his career, one controversial guy who's trying to get back here in the States and pitching really well in Japan, and the third young arm's got all these peripheral problems around him and is probably looking at a 60-game suspension. So that's one of my baseball topics today. John, go ahead and respond.
Yeah, I think Julio Urias is radioactive. He's, at Dodger Stadium, they were covering the murals in the stadium. I think that's a guy that's going to struggle to get a deal. Bauer, on the other hand, he still hasn't been, busted according to the law. There's a lot of people that defend Bauer, like him or not, but he's going to get another shot somewhere else. But man, Blake Snell was just so terrific again last night against the Dodgers. He seems like he's really figured it out. To me, he's a dude that's going to cash in, and good for him, and he's a likable guy. Could the Padres afford him? How much money does Peter Seidler have? But someone's going to pay him $30 million or more a year, no doubt about it.
It will be interesting to see, because Seidler has a good working relationship with Scott Boras, but Boras is all about the dollars and cents. How many big money starters can you have at the front end of your rotation? Because they have a long-term commitment to Darvish. They obviously re-upped Joe Musgrove. Now, maybe they'll move some bodies off the roster, but to add another $30 million to your payroll for Blake Snell remains to be seen. Now, this is off the charts. Who knows who's going to own the Angels? You can own the Angels? I'm not going to buy the Angels, but the Angels need pitching. Could you see the Angels writing checks for Snell, Bauer, and Urias and fixing this whole thing at Anaheim Stadium just like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it depends. Is Artie Moreno still going to own the team? There's just all these big question marks around it, but it seems they've tried to get big hitters, and the big hitters always get hurt. So maybe they need to shift gears and focus on pitching. That might not be a bad approach.
Okay, we go from that